Hello all you gorgeous, sexy people. I'm Toxy, and I'm going to talk about my thoughts on this year's E3. So, I'd like to start off with getting something off my chest, and that is Skyrim. I mean, Skyrim has been everywhere for the last 6 years, you know. So, at Bethesda's conference, they showed off Skyrim for the Switch, which had some Breath of the Wild gear and that sort of thing in it. That looked pretty cool. It was Skyrim. And then Sony's conference, they showed off more Skyrim. It was Skyrim VR, Skyrim with virtual reality. That's pretty cool. But again, more Skyrim. The thing that really accentuates this obsession that Bethesda's had with Skyrim is the fact that they're not actually working on a new Elder Scrolls game. So prepare yourself for more Skyrim for the next few years until they start working on the next Elder Scrolls game, I guess. I guess that they are working on other games, and that's fine. Log of Skyrim. Skyrim's good. Log of Skyrim. Then there's Microsoft's conference, which, they start off with the big whammy. They finally officially unveiled the Xbox One X. So the Xbox One X, see, look, that name is, a bit... It could have been better, I don't think much thought went into that name. It's a bit similar to the Xbox One S, and I definitely believe that that's going to confuse a lot of casual consumers, and as well as the asking price for the Xbox One X. I understand that it's reasonably powerful hardware, but it's the fact that it's technically not a proper new console, and it costs $500 and 650 Australian dollars, and that's a fair bit. That's more than what their original Xbox One model was at launch, and that's when it was a new console. So I don't know. I'm a bit iffy on that. A thing I did like in the Microsoft conference was Sea of Thieves, which is being developed by Rare, which, as we all know, they made Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and other such excellent platforming games for Nintendo way back when. This game looks like a lot of fun. It's a pirate game. Looks like it would be heaps of fun with friends. Kind of tempted to get a good PC for this game, Oh, hello, push him. Hello, push him. I suppose moving away from the Microsoft conference, we then have Sony's, and their conference was quite good. I enjoyed that. They revealed Shadow of the Colossus, the remake for that, and that looks phenomenal. I never got to play the original one, so I would really enjoy playing this. For whatever reason, the original one was just one of those games that always eluded me. I always meant to play it. I liked the look of it. It's just, I never go around to it for whatever reason. Now I'm definitely going to do it. Another high point for Sony's conference was God of War, otherwise known as Dad of War, because, Kratos is a dad now, and this game's very story-driven, and he's, taking his son out on adventures and showing him how to hunt and other such things, and it looks like a really fun game, and it's interesting to see God of War have more of an emphasis on the story and the narrative, because the previous games, they had a story, but they're definitely a lot more action-orientated, and the action in this game still looks really cool, and some of the executions that Kratos can pull off do look really cool. So this is definitely a game I'm really excited for, and I know plenty of other people are really looking forward to this one. I think Sony's biggest announcement was Monster Hunter World. Holy shit, did that come out of nowhere? That game looks outstanding. It's the first Monster Hunter game built from the ground up for hardware that's a great deal more powerful than the PlayStation 2. So it's because Monster Hunter's slowly developed its mechanics, but it hasn't really stepped that far away from its PlayStation 2 core. So it's interesting to see it finally base itself around a game with a more modern engine. So looks absolutely amazing, the way that the monsters interact with this world and how the environment is more destructible than it was in previous games, and how the hunter could use like grappling hooks and that sort of thing to shoot themselves off to the distance. Like that was something that was never really done in previous Monster Hunter games, so it's looking pretty cool. But then you had Ubisoft's conference, in which they properly revealed Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This is a game that was leaked a while back, so we've known about it for quite some time, but now we actually know how it plays, and I don't think anyone expected it to be an XCOM style tactic shooting game. So, but in the vein of Mario and Rabbids. So it's looking like a very interesting crossover. It looks like it could be a lot of fun. I'm still a little bit on the fence about this one, but I'll definitely keep my eye on it, see how it progresses. It's got co-op, so that's always a plus. So now moving on to Nintendo's conference. They absolutely took me by surprise when they announced not one but two Metroid games. Like, holy shit. After Metroid had been neglected for so long, they're finally really pushing the Metroid seriously. Even announced new amiibos for it and everything. So, that's going to count for something, right? So, one of the Metroid games that was announced is for the 3DS, and it's a remake of Metroid 2. And that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It looks very action orientated. It's 2D side scrolling still, but they're throwing in some melee moves in there and stuff like that, so Samus can get a lot more hands on with the enemies, and that looks really cool. And the other Metroid game that they announced was Metroid Prime 4, which is in development for the Switch, and they didn't show any gameplay, just the title. But that was enough. That was enough for imaginations to sort of run wild and hype just to overload. I mean, Metroid is such a great series, and hasn't been getting the attention it deserves. The one thing that Nintendo announced that was the biggest E3 news this year was the fact that in Super Mario Odyssey you can play as a motherfucking T-Rex. I mean, holy shit! Whoever thought that you could play as a motherfucking T-Rex in Mario? Or most games for that matter. What happened to these video games where there were dinosaurs in them, like Turok and Dino Crisis, which is a fucking excellent horror series, by the way. But all those games are gone, so Nintendo's just you know what? Let's throw T-Rexes in Mario, and you can possess them, as well as all the other generic Mario enemies that we've come to know, such as different Koopas and Goombas and all of that jazz. But the point here is, you can possess shit in Super Mario Odyssey, and you can possess a T-Rex. I'm going to be playing as a T-Rex the whole fucking time. Once I get to the point in the game where I can play as a T-Rex, I'm not going to bother with the main story. The main story at that point is irrelevant to me. The T-Rex is what the shit is about. I don't care what anyone says. I really enjoyed this year's E3. I know I skipped a whole bunch of stuff, so let me know in the comments below what you think I should have covered more, or what I neglected to cover, and perhaps I'll cover it in another video in greater depth. Alright? Anyway, peace.